wheel. Be my winding wheel. Be my winding wheel. Be my winding wheel.
MC square, 90 MC square, 90.
Born in Sri Lanka, moved to Australia when I was about 3. Grew up there, studied there. I was pretty lucky to be in kind of bands from when I picked up the bass, which is always, well, in my opinion, the best way to learn. You know, I was always the youngest and worst musician in the band too, so you learn fast because you just have to. And then I started studying jazz and I started to get formal lessons and all that kind of stuff. Started to get gigs and start working, and eventually I dropped out of my course at uni, which is something I regret to this day. I only had a year and a half left. I was just doing lots of gigs, and I was kind of 18, you know, I couldn't be bothered with studying. I just wanted to play, and that's what I was doing, so I thought, well, why don't I just keep playing? After that, I got into an original band. We got signed, started doing a bunch of touring around Australia and New Zealand. That broke up, started another original band. We moved here, so that's how I ended up over here in London. After a couple of years of hard slog with that, I went back to doing the session thing, freelance thing. So that kind of has worked out well for me. Basically how I got started was a friend of mine who's a drummer was going to an audition, and he said, why don't you just come along, because they're looking for a rhythm section, so why don't you just come along and play? And I'd played with him a bunch of times before, so it made sense for us to play together. So I tagged along, and luckily the people who were organising it didn't mind that I'd sort of snuck in, and ended up getting the gig, and that was for the Sugababes. We didn't know at the time what it was for. After a while of doing that, I started playing with this French singer called Christophe Willem, which was great. During that time, I started to do some gigs with Kylie. It just grew and grew and grew, and we ended up sort of doing more stuff with her. And that kind of brings us to kind of now, really. First of all, I want to talk about, in terms of practice, your motivation for practice. It's really easy to kind of just go through the motions and just get up every day and practice. And I heard someone say once, practice isn't good or bad, it just is. You know, and I kind of lived by that for a little while, where it was just, it's just what you do. You get up, you practice, that's what you do. But nothing else in life is like that. You have to have a motivation for anything that you do. So I think it's really important to kind of get that happening before you start practicing. I don't mean an overarching goal that you know, okay, this is where I want to be, therefore that's why I'm practicing now. I mean, when you're about to step in and practice, something that's going to bring you into focus and kind of like get your head into that world of practice before you actually do it. I take it pretty seriously. Like, if I sit down to practice, I'm not motivated, my head's not in it, I'm not thinking about it, I'm thinking about other things, and I can't be bothered. I just don't practice. I'll do stuff that will motivate me, and that's different for everyone. So for me, I'll check out bass players or music that I like on YouTube or whatever, or I'll just do something else to do with music. You know, I might muck around with a synth, or kind of like read up about gear, or just anything else. And usually, at some point, especially if I'm listening to stuff that I enjoy, it kind of reminds me, oh, that's what I'm trying to do here, or that makes me think I want to learn that, and that makes me then treat my practice a lot differently. To, okay, this is what I do. First of all, I practice this, and then I practice that, and go through the motions. I think, as you guys probably all know, half an hour of really focused practice is worth an hour of sort of just going through the motions and kind of not having your head switched on to each thing that you're doing. it's really easy, like now with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and whatever, we're really aware of what each other are doing in terms of musicians. You know what everyone else is doing, what all your mates are doing, what every other musician in the world that you love is doing. You know what they're doing all the time. And it's really easy for us to kind of start comparing ourselves to other people. I start looking at things and going, oh man, that's my mate, he's doing this, that and the other, he's not even that good, you know. It starts getting ugly. And I really want to encourage you guys to work out what it is you want to do and just do that and run your own race and not even think about what anyone else is doing, because it just gets ugly at the end of the day where people start to kind of feel down about themselves. They get down on other people. He shouldn't be on that gig, he's rubbish, or, you know, all that kind of stuff starts happening. People start stealing people's gigs, you know. It just gets ugly when you're competing. And I think, as we all know, this is music. It's not, you know, it's not college wrestling, you know, it's not a competition. There's no winners at the end of the day. We're all doing our own things. And I think you've got to work out what that is for you. And it's a process, and I'm not saying that you're going to go home tonight and go, right, this is what I want to do, and I don't care about anything else. But I really encourage you guys to run your own race and just be good to each other and not kind of try and cut other people down to kind of get a leg up, because it's a really ugly thing. And I think it's becoming more and more prevalent as people are more aware of what everyone else is doing all the time. And I think that you guys have an opportunity, because you're all studying together and there's a big group of you, to actually change that kind of culture within your school. And then as you guys go out and start working, you know, you can change that whole culture of whoever you're working with. And I think it's a really kind of good thing to just be happy for other people when they're successful and kind of and just do your own thing regardless of what's going on around you.